Hey YouTube, how are you doing? My name is Scott, and I know I haven't been really active for almost a year. That's because I was a little lazy to make videos and whatnot. But on Christmas, I actually made a video of myself on my iPhone unboxing the Hyperkin Retron 5, which is a video game console that was made by a company called Hyperkin that can play NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Famicom, and Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy Color games. But I decided not to upload it because I wasn't really impressed by doing it. I'll probably review it in a future video. We'll see what happens. But in this video, I thought I'd show you a little something that I like collecting other than video games. In this Puma shoebox right here are comic books based on the TV show Futurama, which I'm a really big fan of. I binged watched it on Netflix. I like it so much that I like to go back and watch the old episodes of it. And this shirt I'm wearing is the Planet Express t-shirt, which is a fictional delivery company that all the main characters work for. The whole purpose of the company is to deliver packages and whatnot throughout other planets in the universe. But I'm gonna show you some of the comics that I have. I'm not done with it yet, but I planned. My whole goal is to collect all the comics that are out right now. The show got canceled a couple of years ago in 2013, but despite that, they're still making new comics. In fact, they're releasing a new one, a third Anthology Adventures comic a few weeks from now, and I'm really, really excited about that. But until then, I thought I'd show you my collection of seven. Do I have seven comics? One, two, three, four. Yeah, I have seven comics, and I'm gonna show you them in this video. I'm gonna start with the first to last issue. So this one right here is the very 11th comic in the series. It's called Cure for the Common Cold. For those of you who have seen the episode Cold Warriors, the plot of it is a little similar to this, as Fry in the comic gets the common cold, which has been extinct in the future for quite some time, and everybody gets, well, except for the Professor and Zoidberg in this comic. But in the episode Cold Warriors, Zoidberg and Farnsworth get it. It's a long story, but Bender doesn't get it in the comic book or the episode because he's a robot, so he can't really contract anything. So, but believe it or not, I actually preferred the comic over the episode Cold Warriors, as I found the plot line in this to be more complex and less linear. Well, both plot lines were linear, but this one had a lot more complexity in it, because like Leela, Hermes, and Amy, as opposed to just laying in bed and for like about 10 seconds beating Fry because they were mad at him for giving them the cold. They actually went back to their primal states. Leela started acting like a squirrel, wanting acorns. Hermes was working faster as a bureaucrat, and Amy, rather than partying, she went out studying. And as much on the show and the comics, as much as she loves science, she loves partying a little bit more. She's a party girl. But yeah, I really liked Cure for the Common Cold. I highly recommend it. You can find it on Amazon. I got all these comics from Amazon.com, so yeah, I buy everything from that website. But the next two comics I'm going to show you are a crossover between Futurama as well as The Simpsons, which is a lot better known than Futurama, and it was created by Matt Groening. Futurama was created by Matt Groening too. But these two comics involve Fry, Leela, and Bender initially taking some old Simpsons comics to a planet to have them in this thing called Liquid Diamond, so they won't be like removed from them, so people can't read them, because in the future people are going to care more about just collecting comics and looking at their covers rather than reading them. But as much as I want to keep these preserved, which is why I keep them in these sleeves, I just I do read them. And some stuff starts happening, and these things called the Brain Spawn transport them into Simpsons comic world, and the crew, and most of the crew except for Fry and Leela's pet Niblonian, where is he? Right there, Nibbler, lose their memories, and they gotta find a way to get them back. These two comics were really good, really good, and I really like them. This comic right here is called Attack of the 50-Foot Amy. Amy's tall in this one because she used the professor's thing that makes vegetables grow, and can make her grow too, mistaking it as was a hairspray what she was going to use to go out on her date with Kif. Look at me, I took off my hat. But what was I saying? Anyway, she goes out with him and she starts growing a little bit and start causing havoc over the city, and her voice starts growing a little bit, and she starts talking in third person perspective and stuff. And on the other hand, Bender swallows a copy of every movie ever made and starts acting out like all of them. For example, he was acting like Rocky, punching I think it was Kif. I don't remember exactly because I haven't read this comic in a few weeks. But yeah, it's a really good comic. It's the second one I ever bought. I'll get to the first one I ever got in a minute. This one right here is called Anthology of Interest 2. It's based on the episode, and it involves the crew asking questions to the what if machine. Like this right here was actually Amy's scenario. What if everyone in the world looked like Zoidberg, one of my favorite characters on the show? And this was her answer. Fry also asked if what if Leela fell in love with him, and what if Bender became president of the world. It's a really cool comic. The ending's a bit confusing at first, but then you might come to understand it. So yeah, this is Anthology of Interest 2, the very 45th comic in the series. This one right here was the first one I ever got. It's called Troop Grit, the very 62nd issue, and it involves Fry, Leela, and Bender making three troops. Bender's consists of young male robots, and Leela's consists of young mutated girls, and Fry only himself because nobody wanted to join it. Because yeah, as lovable Fry is in real life, nobody in the Futurama world never really shows him respect, and I don't really. I think Fry's a really underrated character, But yeah, Troop Grit was really good. And this is the last one I got. It's called Trading Spaces, and yes, Leela becomes captain of the Nimbus ship, Zap Brannigan's ship, temporarily. Spoiler alert: things don't really work out, but yeah, it's a decent comic. It's the latest. It's one of the latest ones that came out. It just came out in September, and there have been like I don't know one or two more released since then, and I plan to get them as well. But yeah, this is my collection at the moment of the comics, and yeah, I'm probably if I I'm probably gonna get more Futurama memorabilia like this shirt right here in the future, and when I get enough, I think I might make a video about it. But yeah, but until then, like most comic book collectors, I am putting these back in my Puma shoebox. But fun fact. These are the shoes that came in. They're Puma suedes, but I digress. Anyway, I hope you liked my video, and until next time, this is Scott signing out. Peace.